Okay, it is not inherited from 0, right? Okay, it is reserved for execute permission hyphen x. 2 is also reserved for write permission. 2 is also reserved for write permission. Okay, 2 is also reserved for write permission. So 3. So when you see 3, so it is derived from execute and write permission. So 2 plus 1 3, right? So if you see here, write and execute, it is not reserved. 3 is not reserved, so it is derived from 1 and 2. Okay, write and execute. Okay, write and execute. 4 is reserved. Okay, 4 is reserved for read permission. Okay, 4 is reserved for write permission. And 5. Okay, 5 is inherited from 4. Okay, 4 and 1. Okay, you see here, read and execute permission. 5 is for read and execute permission. 4, which is read permission. 1, which is execute permission. Okay, har hyphen x. Okay, 6 is also not reserved. We have taken it from 4 and 2. So 2 is for write permission, right? So which is read and write. Okay, 4 is for read and write, which is 4 is for reserved, which is write. So 2 is for also reserved, which is write permission, right? So which is read and write. So now all permission. 7 is for all permission. Okay, so when we say 7, 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is 7, right? So 4 is read, right, which is reserved permission. So 2 is also reserved permission, right? So then 1 is for execute. So if whenever you assign 7, so it will be having a full permission. So user can execute, read and write also. Okay, so let see this now. So 0 stands for S0 stands for
permission.
No permissions.
No permission.
permission, which is dash dash dash, right? So which is hyphen hyphen hyphen. So which is no permission. So 1 stands for
Execute.
Execute permission.
execute, right? Hyphen hyphen x. Okay, this is also like reserved permission, right? So we will be not using anywhere. It is a reserved permission. 2.
Right.
2 stands for
Permission.
right permission.
Right.
Which is hyphen w hyphen, right, which is also reserved permission. Then 3.
Right and execute.
Write and execute. Write and execute. It is a combination of 2 plus 1. Okay, 2 plus 1. It's a combination of 2 plus 1. So in that case, we'll get 2 is write and 1 is execute, right? Let's execute. Then 4.
Read.
Read permission, right? 4 is read permission, which is reserved. Okay. I'll say as reserved. Okay. Then 5.
Read and execute.
Read and execute. R hyphen x. It's a combination of 4 and 1. Okay. 6.
Read and write.
Read and
Read and
write.
write.
Read and write. Okay. Read and write. Okay. It is also a combination of 2 and 1. 7.
Read, write, execute.
All.
Combination of
So
4
all
and 2.
permission.
4 and 2.
Combination of 4 and 2.
4. 2 and 1, right?
No, for 6
4,
it is
2
4
and
and
4
Or
6.
7 is stands for all permission. Okay.
read, write, execute.
It's a combination of 4, 4, 2 and 1. Okay.
Ajit,
So
what
let's
combination of 4 and 2?
For 6 it
6,
is 4
right?
and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we'll see this practically how we can assign a permission using number. Okay. So let's create one directory or file. Okay, let's create a file. What is the command to create a file?
Touch file name.
touch.
Touch.
Touch and file name.
Touch.
Touch and your file name. So my file name is, I'll consider as my file name as is DevOps.
Touch.
DevOps. So this is my file. Okay. So if I list it, June DevOps June, right? So by default it is assigned some permission, right? By default Linux has assigned some permission, which is, what is this permission? Read, write, and read. What is this number? What is read, write? Read, write number.
6.
7.
6.
6 6.
6. So this one?
6 4. 664.
This is 4.
6, 6.
6 6 4.
By 664. By default, so by default, Linux is assigning some permission. By default, Linux is assigning some permission, right? So which is 664. Okay. So this is equal to 664, right? So by default, Linux is assigning some permission, but you want to change that permission using octal, right? So let's see this. I want to remove write permission from the group and assign execute permission for user. Okay. How to do that? What is the command to give a permission?
chmod.
Chmod. So now my question is, now I want to give execute permission. So which is all permission. So now currently it is having read and write. So I want to assign execute also for user. So what number we can choose here now?
7.
7.
7. I want to assign along with this. I want to assign execute also, right? So which is 7. So 7, I can take it. Okay. So I want to remove write permission from the group, right? Write permission from the group. What is the number we can choose here?
4.
2.
4.
4 I have to remove, right? So which is
2.
4. Which is
Only
only I
read.
have to assign only read permission. In that case, so okay, let's take it. I want to assign only read permission to the group. In that case, I can choose 4, right?
4.
And I want to leave as it is. Leave as it is, like for
Four.
others only read permission.
4 again.
So leave as it is, which is I want to assign 4 again. 4 again. Okay, if you assign 0, right? So then it will be no permission. Okay, if you assign 0, it will be no permission. Okay, don't do that. So now I'll assign, I'll give my file name at that. So now if I list and see that my June DevOps is having my June DevOps, see here, read, write and execute, which is 7, right here. Then read for group, which is 4, and others also be given read permission. Clear? How to give a permissions using Octal. Yes, no.
Yes, I did.
Yes, Ajit.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
okay, good. So the basically like everyone will use Octal for giving a permission. The symbolic, it's up to you, like how you can prefer, but normally everyone in your project or in your friendship, in your work area, most of them will use Octal way to give a permission. So you can choose symbolic also, but no change in that. But everyone prefer Octal, but it is very easy, right? To remember also, it is easy, right? So now, similar way, let's try few more scenarios. Okay, so let's try it on directory now. Okay, let's try it on directory now. So let's create one directory. What is the command to create directory?
MKDIR.
MKDR.
MKDIR.
mkdir. I'll create a directory called tech. Okay, I'll create a directory called tech. Okay, so if I list it now, so if you see here, by default Linux is assigning some permission to the directory, but it is different than file, right? So if you see, by default, when we created a file which is giving 664, right? Read and write, read and write, read and write for user, read and write for group, and read for others, right? But so when we create a directory, so it is also assigning some permission, right? So what is this permission? Read, write and execute for others. What is this number?
I just have one doubt. Like for the group, if we have like multiple groups and we have one file, like how will we distinguish on which group that we are giving these permissions?
It based on the user. Okay, so like we discussed yesterday, hope you all know that. So suppose when we created a user, that's the reason I discussed first this one, right? So when we created a group and we got to know how to assign that user to the group also, right? So only if that user belongs to that group, okay, only that user belongs to that group, then only he can able to access those files. Okay. If that user is not belongs to that group, okay, suppose let's say we have a DevOps group. So now this Ubuntu is not, suppose if this Ubuntu is not belongs to DevOps group, means this user is whatever the user, right? So now Ubuntu can't go to this DevOps group and access all the files. So only if he belongs to DevOps group, so then only he can able to access those files. Otherwise, it's not possible. Okay, so that is the main security also. That's the reason Ubuntu is more secure. Okay, so you can try that. So now I'm the Ubuntu user. So if you go and try to access this OPQ file, okay, so I have already shown you, I think. So now if I say cat and file name. So now I'm able to view this. Why? I belongs to this DevOps group. Okay. So if you are not to that, say Ubuntu is not belongs to DevOps group in the sense, then it is not possible to view that one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you try that scenario, create one new user
Yeah,
and
yeah.
create new group and assign that, make sure you don't assign any other user to that group and try to access with other user, then you will get an error message. Okay.
Okay.
Try all those scenario. Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were discussing on directory. Okay. So we created a directory, right? So let's go. So we created a directory by default. By default, Linux is assigned some permission to the directory, right? So if you see here, so what is this permission? Read, write, and
774.
execute data. 774, right?
7.
774. This is for files. This is for directories. So by default, Linux is assigning some permission to files and directory. So when we are creating, okay, when we are creating, okay. So how this is assigning? So this is assigning the permission with the help of Linux is assigning permission with the help of umask value. Okay, umask value. So you see here 002. You can leave this first bit. The first bit will be a special bit. So you won't be using all the time. Okay. So we'll see that in upcoming class. Okay, that one. The first bit is for special cases. Okay. So next 3 bit are used for permissions for files and directory. Okay. Permissions for files and directory. So if you see in my screen, so default permission for files is 664. So how this is get calculated? For files, basically it will get calculated from 36.
Ajit, for directory it is 775, right?
RWX. Okay, sorry, it is 77. Okay, sorry. So read is for 4, right? So it is for 5. 775. Okay. So now the default permission for Linux, it is assigned with the help of this 636 number on, and it is minus with our umask value, which is 002. 002. So if you minus this, you will get a value which is 664. Right? This is the value for files we are getting. This is how the Linux is getting calculated for files. For directory, similar way, which is getting calculated with this 7, right? And 002. Okay. 002. So if you minus this, we will get a value which is 775. Okay, the same, right? The same value we got it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So now this umask value, you can change it according to your wish, okay? So currently the umask value is 00, right? 00. I can change this umask value to my wish, like suppose, let's say this 666, right? So if I want to change it to 026, So what is my value here? 6,
640.
4, 0. So what is this permission? We will get it. 6 for read and write, right? Read and write.
Read and write.
Then 4 is for read.
Right.
Read and execute.
Read.
Read only read. 4 is
Read.
for read. And 0 stands for nothing, no
No
permission.
permission.
No
Nothing.
permission.
So if I change my umask value to 026, so I should get this as my permission whenever I created a file. Okay. So let's change this. Umask 026.
అవునా
Okay. 026.
రికార్డ్
If
చేసాం
I type only umask
నేను
now,
రికార్డ్ చేస్తే
you see here my value is changed.
అదే
So
అది అయిపోయింది అదే రికార్డింగ్
my value is
అయిపోయింది
changed to 026.
ఇది
Okay.
ఆడియో
So
లోపలికి
now
రాలేదు
if I
దాని
create
సెట్టింగ్
one
రాలేదు
file,
మా బయట ఆడియో వచ్చి
touch and create a file called sample file. File name is sample file.
అవునా
Okay.
రాలేదు రికార్డ్
So if I list it now, you see here
ల్యాప్టాప్ ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్
whatever we discussed.
బ్లూటూత్ పెట్టి బ్లూటూత్
2
చెట్టే
minutes
వెంటనే
back,
రోజు
the same we are getting, right? Yes or no?
రికార్డ్
It's based
చేసేది
on umask. The permission is
నేనే
based on
చేస్తాను
umask.
Yes, sir.
మిగతాదో తెలియదు కానీ
Okay.
వస్తానండి సార్ ఇట్ వస్తుందా ఎంత
So now we got to know how the file permission is getting changed. Similarly, for directory also, which is minus
తెలుసు
one,
రికార్డ్
my
చేసి రాదు
umask value, which is 026. My current
అప్పుడు
umask
notes
value is
రాస్తున్నారు.
026. So which is
గ్రూప్
7,
ఫోటోలు పెట్టాలా
5,
ఇది రాసుకుంటా లీడ్ గా
1. Right? So what is this
లేదు
permission?
మొన్న మన రికార్డ్ చేస్తాను ఏమో ఎక్కువ అయిపోతుంది రికార్డింగ్ కొట్టదులే
What is this permission?
చాటింగ్ అంతా విన్నాను
Read,
Read,
write,
write.
అన్నమాట మొత్తం
Read,
మొత్తం
write,
then
అన్నమాట దాని తర్వాత
Read execute.
5 is
నోట్స్
read and
Read,
execute.
Linux
5 stands for read and
Read,
execute.
ఆ ఫోర్
And
లాక్స్
one-
ఫోటోలు పెట్టి
Execute.
నీకు నాకు ఫార్వర్డ్ చేశాను ఓకేనా
1 is stands for execute.
ఇది
So now if I create a directory, so we should get this value. So I'll create a directory
నీకు
called
రాత్రలే అనుకుందా
mkdir.
రాత్రి సార్ కూడా రాయమని చెప్పారు స్టార్ట్ నుంచి వద్దరులే ఓకేనా థ్యాంక్స్ అన్న బాయ్
Okay. So now if I list and see this, right? You see here, read, write and execute is 7, read and execute is 5, and execute is only 1, which is 7, 5, 1. Right? Clear everyone how this value getting assigned for permissions? Yes, no?
Yes, Ajit.
Yes.
Yes, Ajit.
Okay.
Ajit, yeah, no, normal user only can change this
Normal.
umask value.
So basically in your projects, so you can change the umask value, but it is only for your current session. So now I changed my umask value, right? I changed my umask value, which is 026. Right? If I get disconnected, it is changed for only for this session. This session means only if I close this session, it will be changed, assigned back to 002. Okay. So if you want to set this umask value permanently, so you have to assign it in the bash profile. Okay. Bash profile or profile. So this is the file. So normally it belongs to the particular user. Okay. So if you want to assign permanently, you have to reach out to your Linux administrator. So there will be a separate team. They will handle this core security. Okay. So suppose if you want to change it for only for particular user, so in my case Ubuntu, right? I'm logging with Ubuntu always, right? So then what we can do, we can change it in, we can place this umask value under this profile value. profile. Okay. So this, I'll discuss this, what is this bash profile and the profile in the upcoming class. But so now, before changing this, I'll show you one more thing. So now my umask value is 026. So it is only for this particular session I have changed it, not permanently. Okay, not permanently. So if I connect back again with the duplicate session, I connected one more session, right? So if I type umask value now, so my umask value is still 002, right? It is not changed. So I have changed for particular session. So if you want to change it, the value, you want to set this value 026 permanently, then what you can do, you can go to this bash profile or profile. So in some operating system, it will be a bash profile. So in Ubuntu, it is profile. Okay. So if I go and set here, at the last I'll set umask, and I'll set 026. 026. Can save this value. Okay, WQ. I saved it. So whenever I log in next time, okay. So this bash profile, this bash RC and the bash history profiles. So whenever we log in every time, so it will get automatically invoked by the operating system. Okay. Okay. I'll come to that. Don't worry. So now I'm logging in, right? So it will get automatically invoked. So if I clear my screen, if I type umask, you see here my value is set it to 026. So that bash profile, this is automatically invoked by operating system and applied that value. Okay. Clear? How you want to set it permanently? Yes, no.
Yes, Ajit.
I'll remove that and I'll keep it default. Okay. This is all about octal permission and the umask. Clear? Yes, no.
Yes, Ajit.
You see. Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. So now we'll see few more things in related to the permission itself. Okay. So now you see we created a directory. And its permission is 775, right? 775. Okay, let's change this directory permission. Okay, so let's remove the execute permission for both user and group and put read permission for others. So what is the number? What's that? Remove execute permission for both user and group and remove execute permission for others. What is the number?
1.
No, I want to remove execute permission.
66.
6.
Last
What is 6?
4.
1, 2, 3.
6,
Read
6.
and write. 6.
I want to 664. Okay.
664.
664. chmod 6 for read and write. Right. Again, I'm assigning same thing to the group. For others, I want to assign only read, which is 4. Right.
Order.
So I'm applying this permission on my tech directory. Okay, tech directory. So now if I list it, so which is 664, right? 664. So now I'll go inside this group. I'll go inside this group. Okay, I'm getting permission denied. Permission denied. Okay. One second. Okay, so the reason, so we don't have execute permission, right? The group. So let's assign HMOD for user. I'll give you execute permission, which is 764. So user is not having a execute permission, so that's the reason in the group, okay, not in the for user, okay. In the group, it is not having execute permission, so that's the reason I was not able to get inside it, okay. So now I'm inside this tech group. I'll create one more directory, okay. So one more directory here. So what is my mask value here, which is 002, right? 002. In my case, if I create a directory, what is the permission it will get assigned?
002.
No. What is the permission it will get assigned?
Oh.
664.
For directory.
775.
775. Right. MKDIR, I'll say data 1. Okay, let's say take that folder as data 1. Okay. So let me create a 2 directory here. Okay, data 1 and data 2. So I have created a 2 files. One is data 1 and data 2. Right. If I list it, you see here, which is 775, right? 775. So but my tech group permission is, if you see here, my tech group permission is 664, right? So this is my parent, right? This is my parent. Inside this, I have created a 2 folders, which is child folders, right? But the parent is having a different permission, but child is having a different permission. So even though I'm creating inside this tech group, right? So it is not inherited the permission from the parent, right? It is not inherited the same permission. So it is assigning the permission based on the UMask value, right? It is not inherited the permission, right? So it is assigned permission based on the UMask value. So that is the reason. So Linux is more secure. It simply not inherited the permission from the parent directory, right? So you see here 664 is the parent is owning, but child is still having 775. Right? Yes, no.
Yes, Ajit.
Oh, yes. But you want to be same permission. So whatever inside this directory, tech directory. So you want to be all the directories, right? Should be in the same permission, right? So if you see here, read, write, and execute, read, write, and read. So what is this? 7, 4. Sorry, 7.
7, 6,
What is this? Read,
5,
write. What is this permission?
6.
6,
764.
764.
4.
764, right?
7,
764. The 764 permission to be applied all the directories, child directories inside this tech directory.
sir.
Tech directory. So you can apply the same thing with the help of chmod hyphen r. R stands for recursive. Okay. So you will be applying forcefully. You will be applying forcefully 764 permission to all your child directories along with your parent directory. Okay. If I execute it, so it will be a 764. Okay. Let's go and see inside this tech. You see here 764, right? All the permission are 764. Previously it was 775, right? So by default, Linux will not inherit the permission from the parent directory. Okay. So you can keep this in mind. So it will not inherit the permission from the parent directory. You have to be assigned based on your requirement. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. No questions? Everyone clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now the similar way. So if you create few more directories inside this, okay. So let me create mkdir data 3. This was, so now let me go inside the data one. Let me go inside the data one. So if I created one more directory mkdir data 3 and data, still it is not inherited. Okay. So you have to, so now if you want to apply the same permission to all your child directory, what you can do? Similar way, I did. You can come back to the parent directory and you can apply the same permission. So then it will apply to all the files and directory the same permission. Okay. If any other files also, if you are doing this chmod -r, then the permission, right? So it will apply the same permission to all your files and directory. Not only directory, it will apply for all your files and directory present inside this tech group. Okay. Don't get confused. It will not apply on the only directory. It will apply all the files present inside this directory. It will apply the same permission. Okay. Otherwise, if you want to give it for particular directory, you can go select it and you can give the permission. Okay. If you want to apply for all the files and directory, then you can do this. Okay.
Class
Clear? Clear, everyone?
Yes, Ajay.
Yeah, clear.
So now I'll discuss one last topic for today's session. So, which is sticky bit. Okay. Sticky bit. So what is sticky bit? So sticky bit is a permission bit, okay, that is set for file or directory. Okay, that is set for file or directory. So if you set a sticky bit, only the owner of the file or root, owner of the file or root can rename or delete this. Okay, so no other user will get a privilege to delete. Okay, no other user will get a privilege to delete it. Okay. So now let's see this sticky bit. So let me create one file here. Let me create a file here. Touch. Let me go to root.
Achit, what is permission sticky bit? Repeat again.
I'll tell you. Wait, I'll tell you. Let's concentrate here now.
Okay.
Okay. So now, so we have a file called welcome. We have a file called welcome here. So I want to it is created. It is already assigned to the tag. Okay, let's create. Let's check. Okay, let's take this sample file. So the sample file is created and owned by Ubuntu group. Okay, let's create. It's created and owned by Ubuntu group. Okay. So I don't want other user or other except root. Other user should not delete my file. Okay. So in that case, what I can do? So I can enable a sticky bit to my file. So other user should not delete this file. Okay. chmod to assign a sticky bit, we can use plus t. Okay, plus t. Then your file or directory name you can specify. Okay, so in my case, I'll give a file name. Sample file is my file name. Okay, so now I have enabled how to identify whether it is enabled or not. You see here the T is pop-up here, right? T is showing here. Previously, my sample file, if you see here, nothing, right? So now the T is enabled here, right? So now we have a user called tech. So now if I switch to, not sure whether it is able to go to that, but let's see. Sudo su tech home data permission. Okay. So with the tech group, I can't able to sudo, okay, because it is not belongs to sudo group. Okay, tech is not belongs to sudo group. That is the reason I'm not able to sudo it. Okay, Control Z, you can do that. So now I'll go back to Ubuntu, sudo su -. Oh shit, still here. Take one more session. Ubuntu. So now I'll do a sudo su icon. So I'm able to go to the root. So what I will do, CHMOD. So I will give full permission for home and Ubuntu. So other user can go inside this Ubuntu. CHMOD. So other user can go inside this directly.
SQL book.
Go here. Now I'll exit from the root. So if I switch to so I'm in the tag. So if I go to home Ubuntu, so now I am able to go inside this Ubuntu. Right? Previously I was not able to go with tech. Right? So now I'm able to go inside this Ubuntu because it is having a full permission. So Ubuntu is having a full permission. That's the reason it is allowed. Any other user can go inside this Ubuntu directly. So now we have enabled this sticky bit, right? Sticky bit on my sample file. So this is a different user. So the tech user has came in inside your Ubuntu directory. Okay, your Ubuntu directory. Now he wants to delete this file. He wants to delete this file. Okay, what is the command to delete a file?
RM space file.
RM space file. So now he is trying to delete this file. So he know by intentionally or unintentionally, you don't know. So he wants to try to delete this file. So now you see here, remove a write protected regular empty file. It is asking like it is protected, so you want to still delete this.
RMF.
Yeah, wait, I'll come to that. So now it got deleted. It got deleted or not? No, right? So it is protected with a sticky bit. So it is throwing in error RM. Remove write protected regular empty file. So if I say yes also, if I hit enter here, still proceed. So if I hit enter means it will still proceed, but it is not deleted. Okay. Someone is saying RM minus RM forcefully try to delete it, right? You are saying forcefully try to delete this sample file. Let's see this whether it will get deleted or not. Okay. So if I say forcefully, it get deleted. Okay. So if you execute forcefully, it get deleted, but there are a few other scenarios you cannot do that also. Right? You cannot do that also. Since this groups, right? This groups currently VR belongs to this tech group belongs to tech and Linux group. Okay. So tomorrow I'll explain one scenario for the sticky bit. Okay. So let's create one directory name, root. Okay. And we'll assign we'll create one group. We'll create few users. Okay. So then we'll see how you can delete a file. So if you enable a sticky bit, right? If you enable a sticky bit, it won't work again, right? So it will be a secured. How the sticky bit will help others, like suppose if they have some important data in this file, so now you came and you executed this rm minus rf, right? It got deleted. Forcefully you deleted others file, right? So let's see that. So how you can secure when you are enabled a sticky bit, okay, your file. Okay, let's see that in tomorrow file. Okay, so don't worry, all this descriptions, right? I want to say these definitions. I'll mention it in my notes and I'll share it with you all. No worries. Just concentrate on the class whenever we are showing something. Okay, don't get distracted and try to write your notes, but write your own notes always. So whenever we are done with the session, okay, when we are practicing, okay. So I'll mention everything in my notes and I'll share it with you all. Okay. So any other questions for today?
Yes, Ajit, I have a doubt. Assume that there is a directory having 5 files, and
Okay.
sticky bit is enabled for one file in that directory. So if we try to delete the directory, then what will happen in that case?
Yeah, you are saying. So let's say here I have 5 directories. Come again.
If a file in a directory is like, if there are few files in a directory and one file is like the sticky bit enabled is for one file. So if we try to remove the entire directory, I mean delete the directory.
Entire directory. Okay, inside that, yeah, it will go. It will go. You can try that. Yeah. So touch. So I'll create one file called hello. Okay, I created a file and I can assign a chmod plus t, and I have assigned a sticky bit. To insert this. So I have created inside this tech directory. Okay, that file. So if I do rm minus rm, so whenever I'm creating a directory, right? Whenever I'm deleting a directory, so I'm using a rm minus rf, right? Rm minus rm. So which is, I do that, so your whole directory will get deleted. Your tech directory itself gone. So your sticky bit is no more, right? Now tech directory itself gone. So in that case, you have to enable a sticky bit for your directory. Directory itself you can enable.
Okay.
So if you enable for directory, then inside your files also be a secured. Okay. So you can enable a sticky bit on directory also. chmod plus t, and so now it is enabled, right? So now you switched into the sudo or -hyphen or group tech. So now I'm in the tech. So let me go inside the home Ubuntu. Home Ubuntu, right? So sticky bit is enabled for this OPQ bootcamp directory, right? So if you do rm minus rf, it will ask a question. Okay, still it is deleting. The reason is we given a full permission for this directory, right? Full permission. So full permission is 777, right? Other. So why it is getting deleted? Other. So I'm a tech group. I belongs to others, right? I'm a belongs to others. So others is having a full permission here. you come back and see. So this Ubuntu others is having a full permission, read, write, and execute. Right? So that is the reason it is able to delete that. So now chmod, I can't able to assign this. Okay, now cd home Ubuntu. Let's go. So let's restrict for others. Let's restrict to only read. Okay, which is 77. Only read is 774, right? chmod 774. So it will be only a read for others. Right? You see it here. So now I will go to Ubuntu. I'll enable sticky bit now. chmod plus T on hello directory. Okay. You see here sticky bit is enabled. So now I'll switch to tech user. Tech user. Now I will go insert this Ubuntu. So now it got restricted because it belongs to others. So either I should, this Ubuntu is belongs to this tech group or this DevOps group or this Ubuntu group. Okay. Okay, let's see this. So how to assign a user to that group? Yesterday we discussed, right? How to assign user to the group. This is the one, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Ajit.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So what is the command? Sudo user
Add
mode,
group.
right? User mode. No, I'm assigning this user to this Ubuntu group. So he can go inside this Ubuntu directory. Okay. So I thought to explain tomorrow. Okay. So let me take one example. Okay. I have one example. Okay. I'll explain this question tomorrow to you. Okay. I'll detailedly explain this example so you'll not get confused. So I have an example because that will take some time to explain it. So because we have to create a multiple users and we have to give a few permissions, so that will take some time. So I'll take this question tomorrow. Okay. So then you will get understand clearly. Okay. So we'll take one example and we can create some 3 users. So and we can assign to that group and we can try to delete a file or directory. Okay. We'll see that in tomorrow's session. Okay, I'll take your question tomorrow. So any question about that?
How to create that cat command?
You're not creating, you're executing that command.
Executing that, sorry. That
Execute on.
after I tried, it's not coming. It's like in a type mode. So I got confused.
Wait, say I'm in the terminal, right? So cat, I am doing cat space and your file name. Clear? If any data, so it will display. Right? No such file or directory. I am in a different directory. /home. Go inside that. If you do cat and your file name. So my file is OPQ here. So welcome to India is there inside this file. Inside this file. That's the reason it is split. Clear? Make
No,
sure you are in that path. Okay. So I think you are in the different path and you are trying to do the cat. Right. So make sure which path you are in. Then you check that that file is present in that path or not.
okay. I will check that and I will try once again.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Ajit, I have a question regarding this user mode -ag we use, right, for assigning group.
User to the group. Okay.
Yeah, can we add multiple users at the same time by giving a different names?
So that is what I'm telling. So just try all those scenarios. Okay. So ch mode, user mode. So you are giving a group use and the username, right? So how it will get identified? So here it is considering the first I am giving the group name, right? Then the username. If you give the another group name here, so whether it will be considered as a group or user, right? Can you try this? So if you, so okay, I can try that, but I want you to try all those scenarios because everything if I show, so you won't try that. The reason is, so if you see here, first you are giving the group name, then the username, right? Space, then the username. The second, whatever the name you are giving, it will be considered as the user, right? Yes or no?
Okay, I will try this.
Yeah, try it, sir. If it is get errored out also, that is fine. We can discuss. But
okay, in place
normally,
of group name, I should give multiple groups there. No?
right, multiple group and try for next you are giving the user. Okay.
Oh.
Try that. Any questions?
Ajit,
Just practice everything. Okay. Yeah.
Ajit, I have some bit confusion in this one. Root user, like we are going to change it from we want to do tech, right? But where we need to create and what is the procedure? Just make sure that that's that.
I didn't get you. Like how to switch you want to know, like how you want to create a user.
No, how to switch?
See, I'm switching to tech group. See, let me go to with the help of Ubuntu, I am able to switch to root. Right? I'm able to switch to root. So now if I go to tech group. Okay. So now SUI fun tech. If I say tech, it is asking for password. I'm giving my password. So I switch to the tech group. Now if I want to go back to the root from tech, so it is asking a password for tech, right? But if you still give, if you know the password of tech, then only you can switch to the root. Clear? This is your question. So you have to enter the password of this tech here. Okay. So sometimes you may see like from root to any other user, it is easy. Like you can switch SEO hyphen Ubuntu. So we don't know the password for Ubuntu, right? So that's the reason we are switching from root to any user, it is easy. It will not ask any password. Simply it will switch from Ubuntu to other user. Like I want to go to su-tech is my user. So now it is asking a password. Okay, if you password, then it will switch. Clear? Okay, so I'll share this presentation and the notes with you all. Just go through and try all the scenarios. It is very helpful. Tomorrow we'll discuss one example for example in the sense use case, and we can move on. Okay, so there will be a lot of other commands. We'll find, awk, all those commands will come in. So again, those commands will be used in your shell scripting again. Okay. Okay, fine then. If no other question, we can wind up today's session and we can connect tomorrow, same time. Okay.